Where's my $10,000? Everybody watching this video, I'm Brian Pfeiffer. Nice to meet you. Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to talk to you guys today about the $10,000 that we're supposed to be getting from the SBA and maybe some funny business that's going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. I did get some inspiration from this video, so I figured I'd shoot my own for my audience and give everybody kind of the skinny on what I see going down here. I don't know about you, but I haven't received any $10,000, and I applied last Sunday night, and it is now Saturday night, so it's been 6 days, 5 business days, and no dice on that 3-day window we talked about in the last video. I'll go ahead and link that last video up below, and we'll talk about that as well. So I wanted to get started here. Has anybody in the comments received the $10,000? And if so, leave me a comment below. And if you've applied, or if you don't even know what we're talking about, that's okay too. If you're watching this video, I'm going to kind of explain it in detail. But if you've applied and received the $10,000, I want to know. And if you've applied and not received the $10,000, I'd like to know in the comments below, please, because I am learning as I go here. I am not a lawyer, nor am I a accountant. I'm just a dude on YouTube that's trying to figure this out and interpret the bills and the laws that are just kind of happening as life goes on here. Okay. All right. So I want to bring up the phone here, and let me bring up the actual pages that I want to talk about here, and we'll go through this on the phone. All right. And, before we get started here, I don't want to, if anybody from the SBA happens to see this video, I don't want to piss anybody off over there. That would be the last thing I want to do. And I'm certain that the SBA people are overwhelmed. Okay, I'm guessing that I think the last number I saw with the unemployment for the 2 weeks after this whole thing hit was like 47 million. And that's a ridiculous amount of people that are unemployed and probably applying to the SBA to get some kind of loan. But on the flip side of that, we are going into now week 4, since basically my business was put out of business overnight. Okay, I live in Las Vegas, and I believe the date was basically around March 12th. They pretty much shut the entire city down. I mean, the casinos remained open through the Monday, which I think was the 15th or so. But I'm in the nightclub business, and all the nightclubs closed on the 12th. Okay, so it is now, I believe, April 4th. So we're 3 weeks in, and we're pushing the 4th week here. Okay, and I don't know about you guys out there, but I can survive for another couple months just because I had some savings. But I'm 100% certain that some of the people that are watching this, and some of the other people in Las Vegas and other cities, okay, it's not just Vegas, okay, but Vegas is definitely one of the cities that was affected the most, are probably in a very tight situation, or like what I like to call a pickle. Okay, and you're probably in a pickle of a situation where you don't even have enough money coming in to eat or pay your rent. So the situation is going to start to get more dire for a lot of people as things progress. Okay, a lot of people have like a backup plan as far as like maybe a mom or a dad that might be able to help them out for a short amount of time, but there's a chance that they've gotten laid off or they've gotten their job eliminated. So the situation has become what I would call more dire here. And as time progresses, I'm pretty sure you're going to see the situation get even more dire for some people. Okay, 3 months, which is kind of what I think we're going to be looking at for this thing, based on what I've seen over in overseas in China and what's going on in Italy. They're a little bit ahead of us in terms of their curve. I realistically think we're probably looking at probably June before we'll have any chance of getting back to somewhat normality over here in Las Vegas. Okay, and at some point in the next 3 months, most people are probably going to run out of money. Okay, businesses, individuals, you name it. Okay, I mean they're talking about different things like forbearance and but you still have to freaking eat. Okay, you can't go to the grocery store and just pick up all the food you need and check out with $0. Okay, you have to have money. Okay, and that's going to be the situation here. So the part of this video I'm going to be talking about is how the federal government did a stimulus package, and they want that money to get put out there now. Okay, they know people need help. For us, it's been going on 3 weeks, going into 4 weeks now. we need help. Okay, we need money to survive. If we have any chance of getting through this and getting our business back to somewhat normal, we have to worry about eating right now and paying our mortgage and rent and car payment or whatever it is. Okay, so let's take a look here at the bill here, and I want to talk about the people that actually qualify for this. The EIDL, I'm going to call this. Okay, this is the economic, it's disaster loans, economic injury disaster loan grant. Okay, and I talked about this in the last video. Okay, if you're a business owner and you have more than 500 employees, that doesn't qualify you. So I'm guessing most of the people watching this are under 500 employees. And a note right here, I highlighted this. Any individual who operates a sole proprietorship with or without employees. Now, this is an important sentence, so I want you to take note of this, with or without employees, because I want to reference something where I feel like the SBA is screwing up a little bit, okay? So that is, we're going to start there, all right? Now, for a lot of people that don't want to take out a loan, I can understand that. Maybe you don't have any debt, you don't want to take out a loan. I'm in a similar situation. But at the same time, this is supposed to be a grant money, okay? And a grant money means basically that you don't have to actually pay it back, okay? And that is probably one of the more appealing things about this situation from the SBA, is that this grant money is supposed to be given out within 3 days, okay? And if you notice here, part of the stipulation to get this grant money is just on an applicant can be based just solely on their credit score and not require an applicant to submit a tax return or anything like that, okay? So if you got a decent credit, okay, which I would assume most people do, and then you're supposed to be able to get this grant money. The administrator is supposed to be able to submit a grant to you within 3 days of the application, okay? And, unfortunately, the 3 days has come and gone for me. I submitted this application on Sunday, and I'm sure I'll take a look at the comments after this video and maybe do a follow-up, that I'm sure a lot of other people out there went ahead and submitted and haven't received the 10 grand. Okay, so in my opinion, the SBA is falling short of delivering the stimulus how the government wants it. And I'm going to show you guys in this video later, if you stick around, what I'm talking about. I got a lot of proof going on here. All right, so the final thing I kind of wanted to show here is the amount of the advance provided under the subsection shall not be more than $10,000. Okay, and again, you're going to want to read this. I'm going to go ahead and link this below, so make sure you read this in full. And I highlighted these sections in the link below. Okay, so a couple things to concern. People have asked the questions in the comments, and this is like your Uber drivers, your Lyft drivers, your beauty salon workers that are independent contractors, realtors, independent contractors. I'm a VIP host. Okay, that's an independent contractor. Okay, I work independently from the nightclubs, and I get 1099. Okay, so as long as you've been in business as of January 31st. Okay, that is the qualifications. You have to be in business up to January 31st, 2020. Then you should qualify for this grant. Okay, and based on the grant, I just showed you guys, you just should be able to get a grant based on your credit score. And even if you get rejected for the loan, okay, that grant should not have to be paid back. Okay, and if you get the loan, okay, this is like the kind of where the free money part comes in. If you get the loan, then you could probably basically get the the $10,000. And if say you get a loan for $15,000 and that 10 grand is toward that loan, well, you should be able to pay that other 5 grand back right away in that loan and keep the $10,000. Okay, based on everything I read. Now again, I'm just another dude on YouTube that's reading through this stuff, trying to make sense of it. I'm not an attorney, nor do I work at the SBA, but that's based on what I've been able to read here. That's what I've seen. Okay, so anybody with a side hustle, you'll see that you should be able to qualify for this, okay? And they're supposed to be giving you this money within 3 days, and this is not happening. But again, it's kind of like I don't want to like harp on the SBA, and I'm sure they're overwhelmed, and I'm sure a gazillion applications came in. But at the same time, I'm going to show you guys here in a minute here why I'm thinking that they're not necessarily following the law that was put into place by Congress. Now, later this week, I'm actually working on a PPE loan, and that's a payroll protection program. And that loan is actually going to be potentially up to $10 million, and somewhat of it could be forgivable if it's going toward payroll and certain things that are on their list. That's a separate loan, and as far as I can tell on that loan, you actually have to go through a bank, a local bank. I've already contacted my local bank, and I'm meeting with them on Monday. I'm not going in to meet with them. I think we're just going to talk on the phone. I don't think it's a good idea to meet with people right now when it's kind of against the law. But you basically have to apply through the bank, and then they can help you get the process done. And I'll let you know how that goes next week after I go through the process, and I'll do another follow-up video on that. So now, if you get approved for a loan or don't get approved, like I said, that $10,000 should be coming to you, and they're supposed to be given to you within 3 days. So, I'm trying to be an informed business owner and get my ducks in a row. So, I wanted to go to the actual the applicant page here. Now, in order to cover any loopholes that they might have at the SBA, if you are trying to get one of these loans, I did want to dig a little deeper into this contract, and I noticed here on section, this is on page 67, section, this is actually on line 17 and 16. It says under section 7B2 of the Small Business Act, okay? And then you see that here again on page 68, line 4, section 7B2 of the Small Business Act. So I wanted to go into the actual Small Business Act, and I want to thank Meet Kevin. He's a guy that I follow on YouTube. He was able to dig this up, and we found on this is section 7B2 of the Small Business Act. Okay, I'm going to put a link for this below, and this is basically one of the stipulations they put in here. You kind of got to look a little deeper. You could have actually added that right to the actual document itself, but instead they make us go reference this. And the main thing I wanted to reference here is the organization or cooperative has suffered a substantial economic injury due to the result of such disaster, if such disaster constitutes. Okay, so this is our clause here that says we should qualify, at least especially in Nevada, because the whole city got basically shut down overnight, and that is the case. So that's could be one of their loopholes to get out of giving you that $10,000, but apparently that looks like it's not going to be a loophole, and it should be, it should be in there. Now, the thing is with this, the repayment of that $10,000, it's supposed to be used for things like, payroll, sick leave, possibly like mortgage or rent, making payment obligations like due to revenue loss. That could be, for example, if you have a vehicle, you have to pay a vehicle payment on that. So those are all the things that's supposed to be paid back by that $10,000, the grant, okay? And all this stuff is good information to get to your your SBA office, or even I'm going to talk about sending maybe a letter over to your senator. But realize there's only 1 million of these grants going out. Okay, I said in my last video, I think I said 100,000, but I did the math again, and people pointed out that it was actually $1 million that people are actually going to out of the 1 million people are actually going to get these $10,000 grants. And think about this. There's 300, and I think last time I checked the U.S. Census, there's 327,000 people out there in the world. How many of those people are actual small business owners? I don't know, but how many of those people actually are laid off and have some kind of 1099? And I'm certain it's a lot more than 1 million. Okay, so let's talk about how the SBA is potentially screwing up badly. Okay, and I wanted to show on a couple things here. Now this form I did get from Meet Kevin, and this is some kind of like instruction form, okay, for the SBA. And when you go down here to the employee section, which is kind of interesting, it says up to $10,000 based on depending on the number of employees. I'm 100% certain. We read this earlier, and it doesn't say anything about up to $10,000 for employees, okay? And it says independent contractors or contractors with no employees, okay? So that's somewhere that is definitely questionable on what the FBA is interpreting here. Okay, so there's a possibility that because this is so new that they're interpreting it differently than we are, which is possible. Okay, on the other hand, they could be just not following the law. Okay, that's another thing. And basically, I'm just going off what the bill says, and this is clearly not what the bill says. Okay, so that's one thing. So Kevin actually dug up this letter, and this letter was actually dated April 2nd, which was just a couple days ago, and this was to the the U.S. Small Business Administration. An interesting clause here. This is where it gets good. This is where it applies to us. Okay, the CARES Act included a requirement that $10,000 grant be awarded within 3 days of the application to the SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program to help cover operating expenses. Okay, basically they're saying, this is Congress saying that, hey, listen, we issued the stimulus to get it out there to people immediately. Okay, and it's not happening. Okay, unless I'm not seeing it, maybe I'm just not one of the people that got it for whatever reason. But from what I can tell, is there's a lot of other people out there that have applied and haven't got this. But what they're trying to do is get this thing out there to people and get them to spend this money or cover their expenses to keep people employed, or at least their people on their team, so that when and if hopefully we do come back, these businesses don't just fold up. Okay, and that's very important. So one other thing I wanted to mention here, and a lot of people have asked me, I'm this, should I apply? And one of the frequently asked questions right here. This is super important, guys. When in doubt, apply. Okay? When in doubt, apply. So if you have any question, if you're asking me a question in the comments is not going to get you your $10,000. Just apply. Okay? Put a link for the application below, and that's the whole point of the stimulus, is to get people the money they need to keep their business afloat and keep the economy somewhat going. Okay, obviously this is going to be a longer term thing, it looks like, and they may have to do another stimulus. Okay, but as far as I can tell, nobody's gotten their money yet. Okay, I've only seen one guy in the comments saying he did get the $10,000. Maybe he's a unicorn, but I haven't seen anything, and I applied almost a week ago. And what I suggest is take the information that I've applied in this video, that letter to Congress. I'll put a link for that below. That is important. You can maybe highlight this section here, and what I would do is take that, and then you probably got some kind of when you filled out your application, you get like a number, like a tracking number sort of. And what I would do is highlight this letter. I would take that tracking number, maybe say this is the date I applied, and then email your senator. Okay. And if you don't know who your senator is, which I'm sure a lot of you don't, you can just do a simple Google search and see who the senator is in your state. Okay, in my case, I'm in Nevada. It's Jackie Rosen. Okay, and I've got a letter from her stating, hey, you should apply for this, that type of thing. She's sending this out, and I'm like, okay, well, I've applied and I haven't seen any money, and I'm one of the people that probably should be getting this money. Okay, I'm in an area that was severely impacted by this whole situation. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm just doing my thing out here. I'm, again, a guy on YouTube. And, if you liked all the work that I did in this video, I spent a bunch of time on putting this all together and making sure that I got the information to you properly. I would appreciate a like on the video. Make sure you share this with your friends. This is a valuable video, and it could help get somebody out of a tight situation. Again, I would appreciate this. Stay tuned for my channel this week. I'll get another video out on the PPE loan, which I'm going to work on that as well. And I'll let you know how that goes on the Marketing Meathead. We'll talk to you later. Bye.